Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back again. Sorry it's been so long. As you might remember, even though it's been a while, I'm Trucker Todd, and figured you guys would probably want an update. I know I've got a lot of calls, comments, things like that, emails, people wanting to know what's going on, how's the new job, all of that. And so I figured we would get into that today, and I would kind of tell y'all what's going on, and y'all can tell me what's going on in your world. But before we do, let me say hello to the channel members. These are the die-hard gorilla gang that has hung in here with me through thick and thin, even though I haven't been able to do a whole lot for them lately. So we need to acknowledge them. There's only 16 of them right now. I would call them die-hard supporters of the channel for sure. And the best part about all of them is none of them have griped or complained or said anything negative. So I'm super grateful to all of them. We'll start with the very first channel member we ever had, Ramon. Then we had Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Midlife Trucker, Smaller Hauler, Lacer DM, Armando Perez, KC, Adam Murley, and Mud Trucking with the Fly Rabbit, H-Man, Racing Ray 28, Lance Calhoun, P.U. Patel, and Skyhook Trucker. So we're grateful to all of them. Now let's kind of talk about what's been going on, and then I'll get to your questions and comments in a moment. I do it that way on purpose. That gives y'all a chance, good grief, I'm still having problems, a chance and time for you to type out your comments, develop your questions, things like that. So I started the new job on the 29th, which was Monday. First off, and I was pretty excited about this part at first. I know a lot of you, after I've talked to you, you're like, that would be a deal breaker for me. The facility I'm working at, I'll be in training for 5 to 8 weeks. And the walk from where I park my pickup to my desk is about a half a mile. It's a pretty good little walk. And then keep in mind that's another half mile back out to the truck, 1 mile walk round trip. And you're going to be doing that once or twice a day, depending on if you go out to your pickup for lunch or something like that. There's about 18 or 19 of us in the class total, counting myself. And the first day I thought, hey, this could be pretty cool. But right away, I started noticing some things that were going to bother me. I guess it's my work ethic and my way of looking at things. They spent the first half of the day talking about all the ways you could miss work, calling in sick, things like that, and their point system before how long you lost your job. And, nothing about the job itself, nothing about work. It's all about how you could call in sick and get out of working. The second part of the day was all about vacation, things like that, paid holidays, nothing about the actual job or working. And, how late to work you could be every day before you started accruing points. And the short answer for anybody that's wondering, you can be 9 minutes late before you start accruing points. Now, you guys know from being a truck driver that to us, if you're not early, you're late. A lot of these warehouses, if you're 1 minute late, they're trying to give you a service failure or trying to reschedule you on another day. And so to me, it was an unnecessary waste. Tell me how to do the job. Let's worry about, what we'll do if I get sick or if I need a day off or something after I'm familiar with how to do the job. But it was just a different mindset. It is a union job, so it's all about working as little as possible. In my opinion, doing the bare minimum seems like what it was. So the first day I was like, oh, this is okay. I'm just going to have to adjust my thinking, things like that. And the second day we started getting into it, and I thought, man, this is a lot to learn. I hope I can do it. The third day, was also equally the same way. I was like, wow, there's a lot of this I'm just not getting. And I thought maybe it was just me, maybe it was the strokes, things like that. So I started talking to other classmates, and they're going, man, Todd, I don't get it either. And I said, well, we're in our first week. Let's give it some time. Let's not overreact just yet. Thursday, which would have been the fourth day, things went great. I came home. I was really excited. I thought, all right, I thought I had found a good job. And Friday, the wheels fell off. And quite frankly, I don't know that this job is going to be the answer I thought it was going to be. And so a lot of things happened on Friday that made me question if I was at a good place or not. And I'm talking about some of the leadership there and some of my direct supervisors and things like that. This is difficult because you guys remember when I was with, SRO Logistics and dealing with Scott. I've said this in numerous videos. He never lied to me. I never felt like I was getting screwed over. I never felt like there was an agenda or things like that. I felt like he dealt with me in a very professional way. I still think he's a great guy. You guys know that. This isn't a recruiting video for him or nothing like that. It's a comparison to where I'm at now. And where I'm at now, I believe there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I believe there's a lot of telling you what you want to hear and, rainbow in the sky type things. And then in reality, it's just not there. Let me give you an example. Some of the employee benefits, we were told the very first day we were there, union rep came in. She said, congratulations, day one, you all got a 5% raise. So I was excited about that. She's like, we just negotiated it out. It's going to be a cost of living raise. It'll be 5% for the first year and 3% for every year after that. So I was like, great, I'm making 5% more than what I originally agreed to come to work there for. She also said that I would qualify for some employee discounts, which with my current setup would save me a little over $200 a month. She also said that we all had insurance from day one. I'm talking about health insurance. Well, they come back the next day, not the union rep, but the instructors. They said, nobody sign up for the insurance yet, because if you sign up right now, they're still working out the details, and you're going to end up being on COBRA, which is about $700 a month or more. And so it's like, and also the employee discounts, I've been working on those every day this week for at least an hour, hour and a half. I haven't got those employee discounts, which would save me over $250 a month. And so it's just one thing after another. It all sounded good on day one, but they're slow walking us on stuff, and they don't seem real concerned about if our thoughts or feelings about it. Had this been an SRO issue, I'm certain Scott would have gave me a number. He'd have said, call this number, and if you can't get it resolved, let me know, and he would have got involved. These people, they're just like, go to this website, go to that website, and there's nothing there, and they just can't seem to kick the can down the road and do only the bare minimum they can in their jobs. And so from that standpoint, I'm a little disappointed, I ain't gonna lie. And I do have an interview Monday morning at 1:15 p.m. It's a phone interview to kind of get my feet back in the trucking world. And as a matter of fact, right before coming on air, I was sending out some emails to some trucking companies that I'm in discussion with as well. So, Trucker Todd may not be completely out of trucking yet. I wanted to give my full undivided attention to this current deal I'm doing, but it's really, really disappointing. Now, a lot of you have asked about my health, and I want to talk about my health a little too. I thought I was getting better, but I've had some setbacks I'm waking up in the morning, usually about 6:30 in the morning, with really bad cramps in my foot and ankles, and especially in my left leg, sometimes in my right leg. I've started sleeping with a heating pad. Sometimes it gets a little better. Obviously, my concern here is that I could have a blood clot or something in one of my legs. We've done some tests on me for looking for circulation issues and things like that. They did some tests in the hospital looking for circulation issues and things like that. Couldn't find anything. I am on a blood thinner, so I think that's helping. But y'all keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I am still having problems with my legs. Yesterday, I was having a lot of trouble walking, and my grandkids were down at my son's house, and so they wanted me to come down and see them. I said, I'll try, but I'm having some problems today, so we'll see. And I did end up getting to go down there and spend about 3 hours with them, so that was good. That is one thing I'm enjoying about this home everyday deal, is I am getting to see family a little more, get to spend a little more time at home, things like that. Ironically, though, I'm not getting to play more video games, so I've only been able to do that a couple of times just because I still stay really, really busy. I still stutter a lot. The biggest problem I'm experiencing right now is with memory loss, and it's bad. Even before the strokes, my memory wasn't great, but now it's really bad. I'm having a lot of problems, and this is affecting me at work and at home, remembering passwords, things like that. In the places where you can, make your phone memorize a password, or make your work computer where they allow you to make your work computer remember a password, that's coming in really handy. But there's some places that it's really, really sensitive information I'm dealing with, and they don't want you saving your passwords in there. I want to talk about one more thing, kind of tie this to trucking. There's a little bit of irony here. In my videos, you've heard me mention my disdain for inward-facing cameras in trucks, and it's going to sound like a contradiction because at my current job, every single thing I do on the computer is recorded, looked at, analyzed. I've got cameras facing me. And some of you are going to say, well, Todd, you were against inward-facing cameras, but you're being looked at and potentially micromanaged now. And the difference is, I would tell you, I don't live in that office. I'm there 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. And then I go home and I have a personal life where I'm not filmed. When you're on the truck and you're over the road and you live on that truck, you have a right to privacy, in my opinion. And that's my overall problem with driver-facing cameras, is that, if they're going to do that, then buy you a hotel every night so you can get out of the truck and have your privacy, or make that camera shut off when your logbook goes to off duty or sleeper berth or something like that. And even then, I'm not sure I'm okay with it, but it's a little better. And absolutely no circumstances am I okay with companies wanting to download an app on your phone and monitor your phone calls, or monitor your text messages, or things like that, just because you signed up for a profession, because you love to travel, or you love to see the camera or the country, or you want to take good care of your family, does not mean that you gave up your First Amendment rights to free speech, or your right to privacy, or things like that. So I'm going to talk to some companies this week, and some of those companies have some of those things that you've heard me say in the past that I'm not a big fan of, and I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out in my head. But when I do, I'll come on here and tell you guys why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I arrived at that conclusion. And you'll know up front going into it that, hey, Todd gets it. He's not saying that, driver-facing cameras are a good thing, but he's been straight up with us. And so I'm not sure if I answered everybody's question about everything, but hopefully I gave you time to type questions and comments. And Now that we're 16 minutes into it, I guess we ought to probably say hello to everybody in the comments. And very first here is Gary Cook. He says, I'm here in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I'm glad to have you, Gary. He was first in here today. And Robbie Ross, channel member. Hello, friends from Oklahoma City. I got a load to get in the morning in Denton, Texas, heading to Charlotte. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. And my good friend is here that we hadn't been able to see him in a while because of his work schedule. We're glad he's here. A trucker named Tim says he is here listening. That has been one of the downsides to this situation I'm in right now. I used to talk to a trucker named Tim usually once a day or at least once every other day. And because of his work schedule and my life schedule now, they don't mesh up very well. I never know when to call him and he never knows when to call me. So we don't get to talk nowhere near as much as we used to. Some of you have speculated that there was a issue between me and a trucker named Tim. And I can tell you honestly, I'm not aware of any issues between us other than we're both just busy people trying to take care of our families and doing the best we can. Don says, hello, Don. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you being here. Hadn't done a video in over a week, and this was kind of surprise Sunday video. A lot of you are home with family. Wasn't sure how many people were going to be here, but I appreciate everybody coming in today. Terry B, how's it going, Todd? I'm hanging in there. I went to church this morning, and it was the first time I had gone to a church in a long time. Now, I listen to sermons on TV and things like that. And the preacher this morning, and don't worry, you guys that are non-believers or whatever, I'm not going to turn this into a church service, but he was preaching out of the book of Acts, and kind of with that was talking about Old Testament characters and all of the things they go through in their life and how they're able to still do these amazing things that we remember from whatever your favorite Bible story is. And he said that sometimes we can read those stories and we can think, man, I wish I could do something great like that. Or I wish God was doing something great like that in my life. And he said, you got to remember what we're reading is 30 minutes of a guy's life. We're not reading his whole life. And then he started giving examples of David and Bathsheba and Daniel in the Old Testament and all their shortcomings and failings. And the preacher, this was a new church I'd never been to, was talking about his own life. He said he lost his job 2 months ago and his finances were getting really tight. And he started talking about health problems in his family and all of that. And then he started talking about all the blessings he had in his life. And so I know the past 12 months of my life have been really, really discouraging. It's been one stressful event after another. It's been stuff that almost killed me, the stress. I spent 5 days in the hospital with multiple strokes. They said I had around 15 strokes. But there's also been a lot of good in that last 12 months. And so if you're going through struggles, I said all that to say this. If you're looking at my situation and it's depressing you, or you're looking at your own situation and you're depressed and you're thinking, man, I just don't know if I can make it. Life is so hard right now. Just remember that, you've still got a better life than 80% of the world. No matter what you're going through, the problems in your life are temporary. They're going to get better. And you got to keep fighting. And so I went into church this morning, and this guy, he wasn't preaching this because of a conversation he had with me. He didn't know me from anybody. We briefly met before the sermon, but that message was really good for me to hear about, things are going to get better. We tend to think whatever we're going through right now is going to last the rest of our life. And, if this job I've got right now isn't what I thought it was going to be, I've had like 3 opportunities come up in the past 2 days. So maybe this is just a holdover until something better comes along. I told you guys from the beginning when I was setting expectations that leaving trucking, I didn't have a plan after SRO. I planned to retire there. I loved working there. Several of you wanted me to get my own authority, and and there was a brief time where I thought about that, but I decided I didn't want the extra headache. I liked what I was doing, but when the stroke took that away from me, I had to start looking at other options, and so I'm going to. I may be doing a little job hopping here as I try to find my niche where I fit, what I can do mentally, physically, things like that. As we speak, my right arm, which was my only arm I really had trouble with during the stroke, my elbow is killing me. It's that same elbow that I got tore a tendon in and got tennis elbow and all that. I'm still having problems with my left leg. Walking can be difficult sometimes. Lose my balance more times than I'd like to admit. Still get some killer headaches, but my wife met, and I think I've shared this in other videos. My wife met somebody at her work that had a stroke 6 years ago, and they still couldn't talk. So the fact that I can still talk, the fact that I'm fairly cognitively there, and I've got most of my physical motion back, are things that I need to be celebrating. And I know there's a lot of people that's wrote me off and said, I'm done, I'm not going to make it. There's a lot of people that are rooting for me and praying for me. And I'm feeling pretty pumped right now. I'm going to go tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to a very bad job that I really don't like. But something's going to change at that job. Either it's going to get better or I'm going to find something better. And my abilities at that job, either I'm going to get better or I'm going to check out of there. And so we'll see what happens. But thank y'all for all the thoughts and prayers. And that's what I'll say about that for now. P.U. Patel, channel member. Hello, Sir Todd from Springfield, Missouri. I always love going to Springfield, Missouri. I never have gone back there a lot since I left Prime back in, 2005, 2006. Occasionally I'd pass through there, though, and I always liked that town, or I guess it's considered a city, Springfield, Missouri. Oaser DM, channel member. Good to see you again, sir. You hadn't been in a while. He says, good afternoon, Todd. Hope all is well. Yes, sir. I really appreciate y'all being here. It's good to kind of catch up with you guys again. Let me get down here. Channel member Robbie Ross with I think this is a super chat. He says, it's working today. Glad to see you, buddy. Thumbs up. Thank you for that, Robbie Ross. So for those that don't know what he's referring to, it's been a minute or two since I did a video. The last video, channel member Robbie Ross was trying to do a super chat or whatever they call them, and he couldn't get it to work. It would send him a receipt, say that he sent it, and he was unable to do it. It did refund him his money, so he didn't lose any money. But he said, I'll get you on the next video. I'll make it up on the next video. And so he's another guy true to his word, making it up in the next video. I appreciate him. He's also one of the people I was talking about earlier in the video that several times a week he's checking up on me. Hey, Todd, how you doing? What's going on? Telling me what's going on in the world of trucking, kind of keeping my toes in the water of trucking, so to speak. So he's turned out to be a really good friend, and I appreciate him as well. H-Man channel member says, hello, Todd and chat. Hope all is well from Lodi, Ohio. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here. Up there, I'm guessing, trying to remember Lodi. Is that where that TA is? Blue Shadow says, hey, buddy. Hey, man. Thank you for being here. Your profile picture makes me miss my motorcycle for sure. Terry B, what actually are you doing there? Have not seen your videos lately. I've been very secretive about where I'm working, what I'm doing, just because I deal with a lot of real sensitive information. It's very technical work. Basically, it's 5 to 8 weeks of training. Basically, I do retention work. They send me the customers that are wanting to cease doing business with them, and I try to save them and try to upsell them new products and stuff like that. So that's basically what I've been doing. But the systems I have to work with, basically when you're in retention, you have a lot of leeway, a lot of authority to make changes and things like that. So there's a lot to it. I'm dealing with credit card numbers. I'm dealing with, Social Security numbers, things like that. So there's a certain level of privacy I have to keep there. Also, I'm dealing with a lot of recognizable brands. And so I've got to keep my nose clean. If I left work on a Friday and went to a bar and got in a bar fight, I could lose my job because they want you to have a good reputation, good standing in the community, things like that. The problem is being a social media influencer, and everybody up there knows I'm a social media influencer. Some of them had even seen my videos before. So they're watching. If I came on here and said the name of the company and said something way out of line, I could put my job in jeopardy. And I may have just done that by saying I'm not real happy there. I think they know I'm not real happy there. I think they know why I'm not real happy there. There was an incident on Friday that really, really, really bothered me. And they and I are going to address it again tomorrow morning. I wanted to take the weekend to calm down, to cool off. And then I wanted to go in with a clear head, level-headed on Monday, where we could talk about it tactfully and respectfully. Had I responded on Friday, I would have been in a loud voice. I'd have been near fighting mad. And with my current situations I'm dealing with, forget the job for a minute. For my health, I don't need to go into a conflict where I'm that upset and stroke out again or possibly die. So I took the weekend, went and spent time with grandkids, calmed down a little bit. I did play video games, I think, Friday night, and just tried to relax and let my cooler head prevail a little bit, so to speak. But definitely what happened Friday was severe enough that I feel like we need to revisit it on Monday. And I'll know based on those conversations if they and I'll be proceeding or not. But like I said, as a backup plan at 1:15 on Monday, I've got another interview on my phone during my lunch break. Smooth Operator says, "What's up, Todd? Not much, sir. Just hanging out, getting you guys updated and seeing what's going on in y'all's world." Deontay Butler says, "Checking in. Hope all is well." And my good friend Scorpion Trucker says, "Hey, Todd and everyone. Had a good talk with Scorpion Trucker this week. It was good to catch up with him again. He's another really good guy with a great YouTube channel that I don't get to talk to him very much. Kind of like a trucker named Tim. Scorpion Trucker's just nearly as, well, I don't want to say he's just nearly as busy as I am. He's probably equally as busy as I am. And he's got a lot of changes coming in his life. Go check out his channel and learn all about that. But we had a good talk this week, and we got to do that more often. It was a good conversation. He's a real articulate guy, and he's fun to talk to. Scorpion Trucker says, "You are still recovering. Be sure to take care of you. You are in my prayers, bro." Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's actually working against me, to be honest with you, because let's just say that sometimes my stroke symptoms are more obvious than others. And there's a lot of people that think I'm faking. There's a lot of people that think I never had a stroke, even though I've got the paperwork right here. And, I notice me stuttering in videos, but several of you have told me, Todd, I don't see you stuttering. I wouldn't know you had a stroke if you hadn't told me. And so there's a lot of people that I've had some people make fun of me. They think I'm faking. They think I'm making it up. And, I normally that would make me mad. Right now, I just feel sorry for people like that. But yeah, I appreciate all the prayers for sure, my friend. Nicholas Earl, that's any job, LOL. Maybe I've just been blessed all my life and I haven't had a lot of bad jobs. I think I've had a lot of bad jobs, but I guess I forgot. And keep in mind, I managed a car lot for a while. I was like in the top 3 salespeople at every single car lot I ever worked at. Several of them I was number 1 or the only one. And so I had forgot how political office environments are. I had forgot how, I need to be careful what I say here. But yeah, I had forgot what an office environment's like and can be like. And let me be clear too, there's some positives to it. I've made a couple of really good friends up there. But yeah, I need to be careful what I say. P.U. Patel, channel member, says, there's always something someone won't like about a job. No job is perfect. Yeah, I agree with you. This isn't about being perfect. This is about, this is about discrimination. This is about a lot of things that you can't, and I'm not the person you would expect to talk about discrimination, but there's just some things going on that I believe are illegal, that I definitely believe are immoral. And I'm not saying that, and I may have it all wrong. Let's keep that in mind too. I may go in there in the morning and say, here's what I saw. Here's how I feel about that. They may say, Todd, you're absolutely right. We're sorry. I'm a sucker for an apology. That may fix it. They may go in there saying, yeah, we can see why you saw it that way. We didn't mean it that way. This is how we meant it. And I may take that as an apology and we may move forward and things may be great. I think the bigger problem we're having with this job is that everybody learns differently. And for me, the best way to learn is kind of like the way you train in trucking. You hop in the truck with somebody and they sit there and they drive a little and you drive a little and then you learn that way with kind of a hands-on training. In this deal, I'm watching videos on a computer and then I'm taking tests on a computer and then we're briefly talking about it in class, but I'm not getting it. There's so many systems you got to go into and everything, and it's not clear. And it's not just me. That's the other 18 or 19 people in there having the same thing. So maybe it's because we're new. It's the first week. Maybe in the second or third week, it'll all start making more sense and come together. But I think basically what I need is I need to sit down with somebody and watch them go through it. And they did have a video where somebody went through it, but they did it at such a high speed that nobody got it. But you're right, no job's perfect. And I've said that in videos. Even if you own your own trucking company, if you're a CEO of the company, and I use this example, I was on the phone with the CEO of one of the previous companies I worked for, and I gave him a suggestion for the company. He said, you know what, Todd, that's a great idea. I'm going to talk to the VP of that department. And I said, wait a second, you're the CEO. Can't you just make a decision? He said, no. He said, I have to go through the VP when we're going to change something in his department. So even when you're at the top, you still answer to people. And that there may be a little bit of that too. Keep in mind, I've been self-employed for a very long time. I've always done what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, and how I wanted to do it. So I'm having to conform a little bit, and there may be some growing pains there as well. But I'm just saying, to be honest with you, at this stage in the game, I'm not liking this new deal very much. Now, next time I do a video, I may come on here and go, this is the greatest job I've ever had. I'm just telling you where I'm at right now mentally with it. Scorpion Trucker says, yeah, we'll talk more and maybe some gaming. There you go. Yeah, that would be fun. Although that's something else I want to talk about, stroke related. I have not won a game on John Madden football since I had the stroke. I've lost every single game since I had the stroke. Some of the other games I play, I'm not doing very well on those either since I had the stroke. I think my motor skills are still coming back on line. My hand-to-hand, or not hand-to-hand, hand-to-eye coordination's still off a little bit. But yeah, I've lost a step in video games as well. So I'm probably the guy you want to play right now. You can slaughter me in Call of Duty or any of those. Halo, I still love playing Halo. Nicholas Earl, what do you play, Scorpion? Hey, and there's Red Raider Reloading. Glad to see you again, sir. Gary Cook, I found out that my mother has developed a blood clot in her leg. Luckily, it was discovered early. She is undergoing treatment. Hopefully, she gets through it. Yeah, me and some family members were discussing this the other day. My grandmother, back in the early 80s, had a blood clot in her leg that went up. They amputated part of her leg, and the blood clot went up to her heart and hit her heart, and she died like almost instantly. And we were talking about the difference between medical situations back then as opposed to medical situations now, because treatments and drugs and everything have got so much better. So things that, a heart attack was had like a 50% mortality rate at some point. And now most people don't die from a heart attack. Some people can have several heart attacks. Pregnancy took out a lot of women back in the day. Now, very few people die during childbirth, something like less than 1%, I believe. And so medicine's come a long way. We still need to pray for Gary Cook's mom, but I would say the prognosis looks good just because of how much modern medicine has advanced. As I sit here talking to you, I've got a loop recorder in my chest that works kind of like your dash cam in your truck. It's always recording, but I've got a little key fob. And if I feel like an event's taking place, I can hit a button and it'll flag a few seconds of what's going on with my heart and stuff. They give those to people that have a stroke that they don't know why they had a stroke. And so it's mounted in me. For a long time, it looked like I had a bullet wound in my chest. And I would tease everybody that my wife shot me. But no, it's not that. It's almost healed now. That's why I don't show it to you. You'd be like, oh, you big baby, that's nothing. But it looked pretty gross at first. Prime Trainer Tim, hello from Laredo, Texas. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. We got a lot of people in here. I'm assuming you work at Prime Inc. Probably as an independent contractor and as a trainer. We got a lot of people in here from Prime. And I worked for Prime back in the early 2000s, like 2004 through 2006 in that time frame. So, yeah, I'm fairly familiar with how they were back then. Don't know so much about them now, but I'm glad to have you here. Nicholas Earl, hopefully, Gary, I put in an app at your place and never heard back. Well, for any trucking company, what I would recommend when you put in an app somewhere, wait a few days and then call recruiting and say, hey, I put in an app a few days ago. I was just calling to check on it. Hang on real quick. I got to turn the fan up. I always get warm when I'm doing a video. All righty. I'm going to guess this new job has a high turnover, says channel member Robbie Ross. I believe so. I think most jobs have a high turnover right now, just because there's so many options. I mean, every day I get probably a dozen emails. Come work here, come work there. You guys do too. I'm nothing special regarding that. So the temptations was there. If this was 1950, you had to wait for the Sunday paper and you had to see who posted an ad, or you had to be walking down the street and see a help wanted sign. But jobs are everywhere. You can apply. If you get mad at your employer, you can apply for a job online while you're on your lunch break. So I think turnover is a lot higher. I do know that for what I'm doing, they said that it had been about a year since they had an orientation for doing what I'm doing. So that's, let's see, 19 people a year. So that's not a terrible turnover rate, especially compared to trucking. But keep in mind that they downsized for a while because of COVID. So when some people quit, they didn't replace them. Also, people transfer from one department to another, so they could have got some transfers in. So just because they hadn't had an orientation in a year at that location doesn't mean that they didn't do an orientation somewhere else and bring people in or something like that. But I do believe they have a significant amount of turnover, and I get it. It could be a stressful job if you let it get to you. Channel member Ramon says he's here, was sleeping. That's all right, man. I'm glad you're here. He says he's in Ocala, Florida right now. Again, that is Ramon, channel member. Yeah, I used to go down there a lot when I worked at Roadrunner. Scorpion Trucker says he plays Fortnite. Let me tell you my problem with Fortnite. I got introduced to it by my stepson. He said, play Fortnite. I said, all right. So I said, what do I do? I'm on here. He said, build a building. So I'd build a building. And then he'd burn it down and start laughing. And I'm going, I don't get it. And so he'd say, well, build a building. So I'd build a building or build a house or something. And then he'd burn it down. So that's as far as I ever got in Fortnite. Nobody ever showed me how to play it. I built something, they burn it down. Nicholas Earl, why don't you go to work at a trucking company office? I would love to, and I am in discussions with a few companies. The problem is living in Lubbock, Texas, there's not a lot of great options, and I'm looking for remote work as well. But yeah, I would love to. If you've got any suggestions, let me know, and I would be glad to look into any of them. But the interview I've got tomorrow at 1:15 actually is with the trucking company. And so that's what I'd really like to do. Is I'd like to do something in the world of trucking or transportation or something like that, because it's what's going to be the most familiar to me. It's what'll be the least taxing on my brain, stuff like that, because it's what I'm most familiar with. I'd love to get a job in a safety department or a recruiting department or something like that. Nicholas Earl says, oh, my son plays that, Scorpion, talking about Fortnite still. And Scorpion Trucker says he's been playing it on and off for 4 to 5 years. Gary Cook responding to the guy that applied at his company says, keep calling. They get very busy in the office. Nicholas Earl says, I'm a big PUBG guy. I play Madden, iRacing, and Farm Sim. Never got into Fortnite. Too cartoonish. I'm a little bit that way. I play Madden. I play Call of Duty. I play Halo. I do play like, what's that racing game? Asphalt 9, things like that. I do some racing games. I used to have Xbox Live, and I mean Xbox Game Pass, and I played a lot of stuff on there as well. Also, if you've gone to my affiliate link, you know that I play the new Atari VCS. I guess it came out about 2 years ago, so it's not new, but it has a lot of cool games on it too. And the games on there are real cheap. Most of them are like in the less than $20 range. Most of them are in the $5 to $10 range, and I have a lot of fun on there as well. Linda Fuller says, hi, Trucker Todd. Hello, Linda. Thank you for being here. Red Raider Reloading, I finally got the headset you reviewed in the other day. I like it, and I dislike the fact it won't stay in your ear very well. It definitely gets loud, LOL. Okay, so on that headset, it has different little ear things that you can change, and mine was doing that. And what I did was I switched it out with the smallest one, and now it fits in my ear really good. It doesn't go down in your ear. It sits on top of the ear opening, I guess is the way you'd describe it. And I think if you just find the right earpiece for yours, that you'll like it a lot better. But it works really, really good. And the noise cancellation works well also. I've got another company sending me a headset that I'll start reviewing in a couple of weeks. It's actually coming directly from China, so it's going to take a while to get through customs and get to me. But once it comes in, I'll review it. But yeah, I honestly do like this, and I haven't had any problems with it, other than, like I said in the beginning, I had to switch up because they had like a real big earpiece in it, and I went in and put a small one in. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing it right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I do wear it in my videos so that you guys can see what the sound quality is like and things like that. Ramon, channel member, I put in an application and company call Advanced Trucking. They told me they were not hiring anybody from Miami, Florida. Yeah, it's going to be tough down there. A lot of companies don't want to hire down there. You might check F2F, though. F2F might hire you down there, especially if you've got your own truck already. I know SRO Logistics will hire you down there if you've got your own truck already, too. PUBG is cool. I still play that. I like the cartoonish part about it. I don't like games that are too bloody and realistic, Scorpion Trucker said. The only game I play that can get pretty gory is I played Mortal Kombat 11, and it has some pretty graphic scenes in them. But that's the only one I play. Like the Call of Duties and the Halos and stuff like that, it doesn't really get too realistic in my opinion. Nicholas Earl, I will. Thanks, Gary. I keep been calling every 2 weeks since March. Wow. Yeah, and that's the other problem. If you don't get a hold of them pretty quick, a lot of applications expire after 30 days, and they'll want you to do another application. Scorpion Trucker says, I like Halo too. Okay. Red Raider Reloading says, I tried those too, the smaller, but it won't stay. Let me tell you another thing you can do on these headsets, and I hope you can still hear me while I'm doing this. Let me get it up here where you can see. This part, if you pull on it, oops, I hope I didn't hang up on y'all. If you pull on it, it comes out. See how it extended? And that may do it where it sinks it down in your ear more. But yeah, I was like you at first when I was using it. I was like, man, this doesn't fit me at all. But if you just continue to mess with it and stuff, you'll get it. You'll get it to where it fits you good, and it doesn't feel like other headsets though, because I'm used to headsets that go down in your ear hole, and this one don't. It sits on top of the ear hole. But I get to where I forget that I'm wearing it. I've got it to where it's pretty darn comfortable now. Nicholas Earl, hey Todd, I'm not doing good at the new Madden football either. Oh, hell, I think it's the game and not us. Man, I hope you're right because I got slaughtered last night, like 27-7. The Giants stomped me in the ground, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I used to dominate that game, and teams were lucky if they could get a touchdown on me. But the last 3 or 4 games I've played, they've put a whooping on me. Gary Cook, are you working in an air-conditioned office? Most definitely, because there's so much electronics and computers in there. They keep it about 60 degrees in there for the electronics, and I knew that going into it. So I usually take a hoodie with me. Sometimes I'll take something warm to drink in there to try to stay warm. But I like cold environments. I would much rather be in a room that's cold than in a room that's hot. When I drove a truck, I kept the inside of my truck really cold because it would help keep you awake and alert. If you get nice and warm and comfortable and your belly full, you'll fall asleep while you're driving. Ramon, channel member, Todd, good news. My wound in my foot is 98% almost healed. Very happy, thank God. Yes, sir, that is good. I'm glad to hear that. We need some good news. We definitely need some good news. Let me get a quick drink of Coke. That's another thing about this job. So it took about a month to get hired at this, or well, maybe that's an exaggeration. It took several weeks, close to a month to get hired doing what I'm doing now. And when I applied for the job, we still had the address of the travel trailer. That was where we were living or where we were receiving our mail. We were staying with my uncle. But we didn't know what the address was going to be, which apartment we were going to, or nothing like that. When I started this new job, they informed us that our first check would be on the 17th and that everybody's check would be mailed to them, the first check. My previous address was a private mailbox, and the post office does not forward mail from private mailboxes. So I went and talked to them. I said, hey, I need to update my address. And they said, okay. They told me how to do it. I got on the system you have to get on to do it. The earliest it would update it for was May 12th, which is the day that my direct deposit will start. So basically changing my address won't help me at all till I get my tax papers at the end of the year. So they said what we do is we mail it on the 17th. If you don't get it by like Friday or Saturday, give it a couple more days. If you don't get it by Wednesday, let us know on Thursday. So after class, I met with her. I explained to her the situation. I said, since we already know that I'm not going to get my check, it's going to get returned or lost in the mail or something like that, can we email payroll or somebody and get it fixed now so that I'll get my first check? Nope, there's nothing we can do. So we know weeks in advance that I'm not going to get my check, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Now, is it their fault? No, it's not their fault. They moved. Is it my fault? Probably, but I don't know what I could have done differently. And so who knows when I'll get my first check. Now, do I think I'll eventually get my money? Yes. But you guys know, I've told you in the past, especially with trucking companies, the one time I really become unreasonable is with payroll problems, especially if the company's trying to cheat you. And I'm not inferring that they're trying to cheat me here, but it's extremely frustrating that they know they're going to mail out a check that they know I'm not going to get, and there's nothing otherwise that we could do about it. And so that's just another issue in the pile of issues. But like I said, I'm going to go in early tomorrow and we're going to discuss a lot of things, and we'll see what happens. Scorpion Trucker says, congrats, Ramon. Thumbs up. Channel member Ramon says, thank you, Scorpion Trucker. Okay, we're caught up on the comments. Today is the day that we hit 6,500 subscribers. So thank you for that. We're doing great. I don't even know how many we've got on Instagram now. I think we're somewhere around 30,000. And we're at about 2,700 on TikTok. And I don't know how to check on X, but we got quite a few on X as well. So if you haven't done it yet, give me a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and make sure you're subscribed. Since I'm not putting out as much content as I was, that's going to change. It's coming back. But if I don't put out a lot of content, it kind of puts the YouTube channel on life support. And so I really need you guys giving me a thumbs up and sharing this video and subscribing to keep this channel alive until I can come back. And I paid the website fees and all that. The website's still good. If you hadn't been to truckertodd.net, go check it out. Don't forget, you can email me at todd@truckertodd.net. And if you click on the title of this video, a lot of other great information will drop down about how you can support the channel, things like that. So go check out all those things. And if you start missing Trucker Todd and I'm not putting out enough videos, go back and check out some of the old ones. They're not half bad either. Levi Weatherly says, how's life off the road, Todd? I really miss it. It's kind of a mixed bag. So I like being off the road. I like having a personal life, seeing family, things like that. But I miss making the money I used to make. I miss being out on the road, seeing people, going to new places, life on the truck. So I think I had a really good work-life balance when I was at SRO Logistics, and I hate that's gone. I don't have the stresses of the truck, and if the truck breaks or where I'm going to get my next load or things like that. But there's definitely at-home stress too. So don't worry, I get my daily allowance of stress. Scorpion Trucker says, woohoo, yes, sir. Ramon, channel member, says, we need Trucker Todd hats and T-shirts. Yeah, I need them too, because at my work, I could wear them, and it would be great. I'd love to wear them in videos. And I emailed a couple of companies, and they're putting together proposals for me. And I'm just waiting to hear back. But I hadn't forgot about that. The biggest deal is, and I had hoped to have it by the end of the month. But now that I don't know when I'm going to get my first check, it's hard for me to commit to anything that requires me to spend money financially. But yeah, I really want to do hats and shirts and coffee mugs and things like that if I stay at this office environment, because you never know, we may pick up some more people. And you know, I don't have any proclivities. I know at some point it's going to get out where I'm working and all of that, but I'm trying to keep it a secret as long as I can. I would ask, if you do find out or you do know, don't publicize it or put it all over YouTube. But I know at some point somebody's going to come in the comments and they're going to come in here and go, hey, I work with you at blah, 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 whatever company it is. Or, hey, I saw you in the parking lot at blah, blah, blah. And so I know it's going to get out eventually, but I'm trying to keep it under wraps as long as I can. Channel member Robbie Ross, have you ever gone to the Texas Truckers Show in Houston? I'm ashamed to admit I've never even heard of it. When is it and what is it? And I might go. Houston's a pretty good little drive from here. I want to say it's about 500 or 600 miles. But I've got so much PTO and vacation time and stuff in this job that if I hang around, I could definitely go down and do something like that. Ramon, channel member. The only problem with that, I could do a shirt that said Gorilla Gang Member 1 or Gorilla Gang Member 2, but there's only 16 of you, so and each of you would only want one shirt. So if I did your shirt as Gorilla Gang Member 1, since you were the first one, that shirt would be a limited run to only the ones that you purchased. But definitely we need some Gorilla Gang shirts. And I don't know, maybe we need to give those shirts to people that once they've been a member for a certain length of time or something. I don't know. I'm looking at all that kind of stuff about how to reward you guys back for your support. But I think someone like Ramon, that's been a channel member for months and months and months, probably deserves some free merchandise or something like that, something to differentiate him. And so we could definitely look at doing something for him and for some of you others that's been channel members forever. And that would be an incentive for some of the rest of you to remain channel members and things like that. So we'll see. I love all the ideas, though, for sure. And we're going to brainstorm about it. It has where I can do private meetings with just the channel members. And maybe at some point we'll do a private meeting when we can get all of you together and kind of brainstorm on what we can do to help the channel grow and things like that. A lot of you have wanted me to start a Patreon too. And you never know, we may do that at some point, but I think we can do it all from where we're at now through the Gorilla Gang and let y'all kind of be like board members and have votes and opinions and stuff that kind of steer the channel a little bit. Because some of you, like you, Ramon, and some of you others that I've been dealing with for a while now, I really trust y'all's opinion and value your advice. And so I would love to sit down with some of you and hear your thoughts and opinions. All righty. Channel member Ramon says, anybody want to be #1 member? It's for sale, LOL. Yeah, there you go. So Ramon's not proud. He'll sell that membership. Hey, how about something like this, though? How about biggest gorilla in the gang? Or biggest gorilla in the Gorilla Gang or something like that. We could have like a huge gorilla on it or something. I don't know. I'm going to, I got some people I'm going to be collaborating with to come up with cool logos and things that you guys would like and you wouldn't be embarrassed to wear in a truck stop or something like that. So we'll see what comes up. All right, the Freightliner hat's coming off. No matter what, it gets hot in here when you got all these lights on you. Scorpion Trucker says, hey, Todd, #1, I got to go for a walk and get a little workout in. I'll be in touch, Todd. All right, man, have a great day. Be careful out there walking. And Robbie Ross said he texted a link to me. Let me go see what it is. Wow, I just got a notification that my phone charging is on hold because the phone is hot, but it doesn't feel hot. All right. Let's see here. Okay, he sent me the Texas Trucking Show. I'm going to look into that because y'all probably don't want to watch me stare at my phone for the duration of this video, but I'll check it out. Looks like it's in June. I don't know if I'll be able to go because I'll still be in training, but never say never. I might be able to. I'll take a look at it and see if there's any way that I can make it work. It looks like the tickets are free. That's a good thing. When is the 29th and 30th? Where's the calendar on an iPhone? I can't find nothing on an iPhone. There it is. 29th. Oh, June 29th, 30th. Looks like a Saturday and Sunday. There's a chance I might get to go to that. I will look into it more after the show, though, for sure. Thank you for sending me that link. All right. What else have y'all got you want to talk about today? It's gone by quick. I can't believe we've already gone over an hour. All right. Ramon, channel member, says he's going back to sleep, be driving tonight. You all have a good one. Be safe out there. Thank you, Ramon. You have a great and safe night. I'm glad to hear your foot's doing better. The chat's kind of died off too, so I think I'm probably fixing to check out of here. For sure, next weekend I'll do a video. If I can squeeze one in during the week sometime, I'll do that as well. Y'all have a great Sunday night and week, and we'll see you later. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.